I'm at the home of Donna Parrish, and she's invited us into the studio, and we're here today to learn a little bit more about Donna. And
today I'm in my studio annex number 1, which is my kitchen. This is where I do a whole lot of the painting because it's where the light is really good in my house. Got a couple skylights and lights all over the place, so it's about the only place that I can see things that I need to see fine detail on.
so what are you working on today?
I'm working on a lot of things today, Bruce, because that's my nature. I just hop around from one thing to another. In fact, when I initially filled out my application for the Guild, they asked what my art was, and I just said, I dabble. And I am almost a professional dabbler, but particularly I'm working on this abstract sunset today. We had a great peer review yesterday, and I was given some tips and some tricks to make it better, and it still needs a lot of work, but it's been thrilling to be involved with it. A lot of my life I spend as a math teacher to students that are trying to get their GED and to teachers that are trying to teach those very same students. And somehow it feels like the art balances out things. If we think about a left brain and a right brain kind of society, a large part of my life I have lived in the left brain area. And now I find when I've done math for a while, the only way I can get balance is to do art of some sort. So the painting is one way I do that. This is my 4th painting. It now has 101 layers of paint on it. But I'm finding I love the process and the fact that it's not necessarily permanent, that I can play with it and it's okay. Nobody's going to smack my hand with a ruler. It's all right. I love the abstracts because they're not necessarily a picture of anything. They're a feeling. And so with this one, I was trying to show that feeling of warmth and enjoyment and love of nature and just the appreciation that things are not always just exactly as they appear. And so it's just been fun to work with various textures and blending the colors and learning about shadows and what does the sun do when it hits the water. It's been
What else do you have going on?
I always have 100 projects going on. I'm always so excited to be able to start something new and different. Sometimes I think about cooking. It's almost embarrassing to look at my recipes. I have probably 500 cookbooks and 800 recipes because I don't like to do the same thing twice. And that has carried through in my art. I don't like to do the same thing over and over. And so when I first started my jewelry and I was learning how to make connections and what this type of clasp did as opposed to that, a lot of my jewelry was very much the same. But it's been great fun, especially recently, to explore different materials, different kinds of clasp, different ways of putting things together, and to make things that are more my style, which is big and bold and beautiful as opposed to sweet.
So you started out in jewelry.
I did start out in jewelry.
Is that a piece?
This is not my piece, but it is a piece that I bought from one of our artists at Oktoberfest last year, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay, we have moved into the jewelry section, and you said you started out with jewelry.
I did. I actually first became super aware of the Southern Oregon Guild when I was teaching at the RCC Kirby campus, and I just kept seeing these artists go in and I liked them. And I wanted to be one of them. And so I I gave a little bit of thought to what art could I work on, and sort of coinciding with that was the need to raise a little bit of money for a scholarship. And so some friends that taught with me and I got together, we started putting together some really simple necklaces, and we'd sell them for a couple dollars. And so, shucks, then it became, oh, this is more than just making a simple necklace. This is a way to really be creative. And so that's how I initially joined the Guild, just wanting to have the contact with those people. And then just in the last year, I feel like my jewelry has started evolving into an art of its own, rather than just replicating the same thing over and over again. So this is my work table. You can see it's extremely organized. I only have about 50 projects going on. Usually it takes me just a couple minutes to get an idea, but I work it and rework it 17 times before I finally get something that I'm pretty pleased with. This is a piece that I've been working on recently. It's really a very simple piece, but this is just an interesting shape, in my opinion. I was drawn to it because of the colors and the feel of it, and I have worked on several different kinds of cords and chains and ways to display that pendant to its best. This is my latest endeavor, but I'm not going to keep this. I'm not sure what it's going to turn out to be, but I did find a little piece of leather that I'm going to incorporate to make a slide for it, and we'll just see how that one lines up.
So that's when you mean you're not going to keep it. You're not going to keep it as that. It's going to change.
Right. I'm going to keep the pendant.
Okay.
But this cord is not. I'm not going to use this cord. I just I don't feel drawn to it.
Okay.
I don't think it does anything for the pendant. But that's sort of my process. I have to work on one basic idea, see how I like it, let it ruminate for a day or two, and then, okay, that's not worth keeping. I'm going to do a different thing with that. Having feedback from peers that says, oh, I really like that. That's an interesting piece. That goes a long way. It's amazing. Sometimes it's almost a childlike feeling when somebody says, I love that piece that you made.
Yeah.
I want it. I'm going to buy it. And I almost feel like whenever somebody buys a piece of my jewelry, it's like this huge metaphorical hug. It just amazes me how good that feels to know that somebody else likes what I like. And it's really nice to have good feedback to say, well, have you thought about doing this on that one as opposed to the way you attached that piece? Or have you considered this color combination that really has brought about some growth in what I've been able to do, and it's a fun journey.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks for visiting in my studio. It was a pleasure to show you a little bit about what makes me tick in the art world.